Hey, before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of these stories. When I first met Lena, she carried this incredible confidence that seemed to light up every room she walked into. Her energy was magnetic, so magnetic that conversations would pause just to watch her laugh. She was fearless, expressive, and always surrounded by friends, men and women alike. I loved that about her. Life felt brighter, more vivid, whenever she was around. When we started dating, her busy social life never bothered me. I believed trust was the foundation of true love. But after we married, things shifted. Her friendships weren't just casual anymore. They became constant. Late-night messages, private lunches, inside jokes I didn't understand became the norm. At first, I pushed down the unease in my chest, telling myself not to be possessive, convincing myself she just needed her own space. But space, when stretched too far, becomes distance. And soon, she felt emotionally unreachable. It started small. Her phone always face down. Quiet laughter drifting from another room. Message threads disappearing before I could see them. When I asked if she was texting, she snapped, "Don't you trust me?" It wasn't the words themselves that cut. It was how effortlessly she made me feel guilty for even asking, as if my concern were the real offense. I found myself staying late at work to avoid the tension at home. Oddly, she seemed lighter when I wasn't around, almost relieved. That's when I realized some people don't want freedom from control. They want freedom from responsibility. Then came the night she stumbled in after midnight. There was a faint trace of another man's cologne clinging to her jacket. She acted completely unfazed. When I gently asked where she had been, she rolled her eyes. "Just friends. Stop being so jealous, Mark." Her tone wasn't offensive. It was mocking. That was the moment something inside me quietly broke. Not in rage, not despair, but in the hollow realization that the woman standing there wasn't the same person who had once loved me. A few days later, everything erupted. She stormed around our bedroom, tossing clothes into a suitcase, yelling, "You're smothering me. If you can't accept my guy friends, I'm leaving." Her tone wasn't pleading. It was daring. She wanted a reaction, wanted me to chase her, to beg, to crumble. But I didn't. I leaned against the wall, arms crossed, watching her outburst with the calm of someone who had already made peace with losing her. When she glanced at me, looking for desperation in my eyes, I gave a quiet smile. "Great. I'll order you a taxi." My voice alone shattered her performance. Color drained from her face. The game she had been playing collapsed instantly. Her fingers trembled. The suitcase slipped from her hands, thudding to the floor. She stared at me, like the ground had disappeared beneath her. "You're serious?" she whispered. I nodded once. "You've talked about leaving for months. I figured I'd finally help you follow through." For the first time, she had no cutting remark, no tears summoned on cue, just a stunned woman realizing the man she thought would never stop loving her already had. The silence between us thickened. She sank onto the bed, eyes wet, voice cracking. "You really don't care anymore." I exhaled. "I care more than you ever noticed. But love without respect slowly destroys you. I trusted you completely. You only loved me enough to see how far you could push that trust." Her gaze fell to her trembling hands, as if she didn't recognize who she had become. Years of emotional games, teasing, guilt, and manipulation collapsed in that moment. She finally understood what it means when someone stops fighting, not from weakness, but because they're done. She didn't leave that night. She hid in the guest room, crying quietly. For years, I've been the one to soothe her, to fix what she broke. This time, I let the silence carry the truth. The next morning, she tried to act normal, making coffee as if nothing had snapped between us. I took my mug and said, "You don't have to pretend. You were the one who said you were leaving. I'm not stopping you." She crumbled. "I didn't mean it." I looked at her. "You meant every word. You just never thought I'd take you seriously." Weeks passed. She tried to mend things, cooking meals, leaving sweet notes, showing affection. But once respect is gone, every attempt feels forced. I stayed civil, but my heart had already stepped away. One evening, she asked if we could start over. "You can't rewrite a story after burning the first chapter." I told her. She didn't argue, just cried softly. That's when I think she finally grasped what real consequences look like. Eventually, she left quietly, calmly. No drama, no shouting, no scene, just her key on the counter. I didn't chase her. Some goodbyes are meant to be silent. Over the following months, I rebuilt myself piece by piece. My home felt calm, open, breathable. For the first time in years, I was embracing myself inside my own walls. Later, I heard she tried reconnecting with the same men she used to use to make me jealous. None of them wanted anything to do with her. Without a husband to disrespect, her charm had vanished. Sometimes life teaches lessons love couldn't. One night, she called. Her voice was faint, almost breaking. "Mark, do you hate me?" I smiled quietly to myself. "No, Lena. I just finally love myself more." Then I hung up, completely without looking back.